was just a little girl, the day my brothers walked out of our home with guns. Some of them never returned, and the ones who did came back with eyes that no longer knew us. I watched children's stomachs swell until their cries faded into silence. I saw mothers force a smile while their souls collapsed inside. I saw fathers wrap their sons in women's clothes, praying the soldiers would pass them by. I saw women press the Bible against their chest and walk into the line of fire, believing maybe God himself would shield them from bullets. My name is Nneka Okafor. I am from Enugu. This is not a history lesson. This is the sound of hunger at midnight. This is the taste of betrayal that burns like smoke and petrol. If you are hearing me now, please tell me where you're listening from. When you write your city below, it feels like I am not speaking into an empty room. It feels like memory still matters. Before the war, life was simple. Our compound was mud walls and a thatched roof. Children chased chickens in the courtyard. Women ground yam, men farmed cassava, and laughter filled the evening air. My father, Kalu, worked at the railway. He came home with dust on his shoes and tired kindness in his eyes. My mother, Ifeoma, rose before dawn, tied her wrapper, and sang while fetching water from the stream. We were poor, but we had dignity. Then whispers began. Men spoke in low tones about a new land, a dream called Biafra. Radios crackled with strange voices. Markets grew emptier. Foreigners passed through, watching us like shadows. I was only 7 when I first saw my eldest brother, Chinedu, sharpening a knife with no reason. That was the day I realized something heavy was about to fall from the sky. The war did not begin with bombs. It began with absence. First, salt disappeared. Then rice, then kerosene. People began to hoard and neighbors stopped smiling. Then came the soldiers. They moved like vultures, seizing boys from villages. They would call out names like a death list. Chinedu and my younger brother, Emeka, left one night. They said they had to protect us. Mama cried, holding their shirts. Chinedu pressed his hand on my head and whispered, "Stand like a tree, little one, even when the storm comes." They walked away into the dark. Some boys came back hollow. Others never returned at all. Hunger is a war of its own. At first, it was just empty stomachs. Then children's bellies swelled like balloons. The women called it a strange word, kwashiorkor. We roasted lizards over scraps of tin. We drank muddy water that tasted of rust. While some eat dead vultures and wild animals to survive, mothers boiled grass and leaves to keep children alive one more day. I remember a boy holding a roasted gecko with both hands, eating slowly as if it were gold. At night, I heard mothers rocking lifeless children, calling their names again and again, as if the sound might bring them back. Hunger does not scream. Hunger whispers until silence wins. When soldiers were parading searching for male youth, parents hide their sons. Some wrapped boys in women's cloth so the soldiers would not drag them away. Some boys pretended to be old men, walking with sticks, coughing to disguise their youth. Even my brother Emeka once tied a wrapper across his chest, walking soft like a girl just to escape their eyes. But soldiers were clever. They knew the walk of a boy pretending. They dragged many into the dust, no matter the disguise. And then there were the women. Women who tied the Bible to their chest and walked forward, singing hymns, daring bullets to listen. Others tied ash on their faces, picked up machetes, and stood at checkpoints like warriors. Women fought like warriors. The university in the east, by name UNN, University of Nigeria, were busy providing and manufacturing weapons to support their people. They had no training, only the courage of mothers with starving children behind them. But the deepest wound was betrayal. We waited for the world to help with AIDS. Planes dropped sacks of food from the sky, but many never reached us. Some were stolen, some sold, some hoarded by the powerful ones. Neighbors turned their backs. Some tribes said, "This is not our fight." Some opened the gate for the enemy to our people. Others took sides for food. Even within our villages, some sold us for survival. The world called it politics. We called it betrayal. A child does not understand geopolitics. A child only understands an empty bowl. And still, the world looked away. We buried our dead in silence. There was no time for priests or proper graves. We dug at night, wrapping small bodies in old cloth. We buried brothers beside fences, sisters beneath mango trees. I would call their names into the soil, hoping the earth would remember when the world chose to forget. The ground became a graveyard of children who never saw adulthood, even children with bright future. And the silence in the village grew heavier than any gunfire. When the war ended, it did not feel like victory. The land was bare, the railway broken, fields empty, the laughter of children gone. So many people never came back from battle. My father and brother never came back from battle. When I saw a few of his friends returning, they were shadows of themselves. Their eyes stared at places no one else could see. I asked them about my father and brother. They told me he made it a hero. We tried to rebuild. We tried to farm again. But hunger had left scars that no yam could heal. So after so many years, I married a quiet man who had also lost everything. Together we raised a child. He grew up smiling, never knowing the taste of roasted lizard or dirty water. But inside me, the silence of Biafra remained. For decades I carried this story in my mind. I thought silence was strength, but silence became a wound that never closed. I am old now. My hair is silver, my teeth worn thin, but memory still burns in me like fire. I speak because children still die of hunger, while leaders argue in air-conditioned rooms. I speak because betrayal is not just history. It still walks the earth. I speak because silence kills faster than bullets. If you are listening, please, do not let Biafra be forgotten. Tell your children, tell your friends, tell your city, tell them about the brothers who never came back. Tell them about the children who ate lizards. Tell them the children who ate gecko and dead vultures. Tell them about the children with the bright future that died of kwashiorkor. Tell them about the mothers who walked forward with only the Bible as their shield. Because memory is the only grave we can still keep alive. My name is Nneka Okafor. I survived Biafra. I buried brothers in secret. I watched neighbors betray neighbors. I watched hunger steal entire generations. But today, I will not be silent. Tell me, my friend, my listeners, do you believe the world learned from Biafra? When you see a hungry child on the news, do you remember me? If you were standing in my courtyard back then, would you have hidden your son in a woman's wrapper? Or handed him over to the soldiers? Write your answer below. Tell me where you're listening from, because every city written here is proof that my story did not die in silence. And if this story moves you, please like, share, and subscribe to Voiceless Grandma's TV, so my grandchildren's children will know the truth that hunger tried to erase.